Hello everyone, welcome to My Life is a Mess, Part 19. Just kidding, dab on the haters, you just walked the prank. This is Part 3. Now, you're probably wondering why the is my table in front of me such a heckin' mess? Well, I'm gonna tell you that. So, you probably remember in the first episode of this series, I built my brother's computer, and it was beautiful. It actually ran pretty well. I am planning to make a couple upgrades today from that, and this is going to be a full build video, like 99% build. The only thing that's already in the case that's actually behind me, this was the old case in front of you here. You can see that, right? Big boys doing big things. So this is the new case. This is actually not new, it's my old case from when I first built my computer. You can probably remember that if you guys have been long-time viewers of the channel. Probably not. My content's pretty garbage. But this was the case that originally came in for when I built my first computer. So if you want to check that out, reminisce on the old times, I think that was like 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago when I built this. You can do that. I think I have a playlist that says building my PC. It's cold once again. Should I say how cold it is, big boy? Let's see. It's colder. It's colder than last time. No, it's definitely warmer in here than up there. It's because we're both big boys giving off big heat. He's gonna like slit his wrists in front and behind the camera. He's gonna do it across his forehead. And he's gonna let the blood drip down so it can warm the rest of his body. Even though that's like the worst way to do it. That's actually not good, because then, no, it's not. Why would you do that? I completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, we're going to go through his parts really quickly, and then we're actually going to start actually building the computer. So the reason that we're actually changing the case, I do like this case, don't get me wrong, but it's not big, and when we tried to build in that case, everything was very cramped, and I really don't want to have to deal with that. So, what do we have in front of us? Well, first, let's go with the CPU. I have an i7 3770, you obviously remember. It's a 4-core 8-thread with hyper-threading turned on. And it is going to be going in this motherboard from, I'm not exactly sure what the motherboard is, and nor do I care to actually look it up, but it came in one of ASUS's pre-builts that you could buy, and we did learn that the graphics card that was in the first video that we couldn't figure out, that was a GT530. So congratulations, GT530. Woo! Woo! So basically, we're going to be using the same motherboard. The first thing that we're going to be changing is the RAM. I am now using 2 RAM cards. 2 RAM cards, 8 gigs each, DDR3. What's the speed on these? 2400 megahertz. And we're going to put those in there because before he had poopy RAM, and we all know that we don't like poopy RAM here. I think the RAM that he had, no, this is different RAM. I don't know what I did with the other RAM. Probably like put it up my ass so I could have more RAM. Do you ever want more RAM cards inside of you? I do. I want them inside of me. Okay. So, we have the RAM cards. We have the Hyper 212. Where did the fan go? Is it on the floor? Did it fall? Oh, here it is. We have the Hyper 212 cooler for our i7 3770. You probably remember our stock Intel cooler that we used for the last time that we built it. I don't have a monitor here because we're not going to go through the whole posting thing. I just want to see if the damn thing turns on. If it turns on, that's fine by me. If I end up bringing it up to a monitor and it doesn't turn on, then oh well. I don't really care, honest to God. Almost every single part here, Actually, pretty much every single part here, well, I'm kind of hoping that the GPU is fine, is pretty much worthless to me. Most of this stuff was completely, is that bent? No. Most of this stuff is completely, I got for free, including the CPU, the motherboard, the case, this power supply, pretty much all free. Even this Wi-Fi card here is for free. So next up is the PSU. It was, if you remember, it's the same one. It's the True Power Trio, 650 units of electricity there. Totally not watts. What are you looking at me? I didn't realize until after I upload that video that he was trying to say in the background. He was like, "What? What?" You said what? You said like 2 or 3 times, and I still like wasn't paying attention. No, I heard it. Did I say see? I can see all things. I'm omniscient. I'm like God. All right, we have 2 hard drives over here. I believe the new hard drive is just a new 250, 230 gig from Seagate. We still have the 1 terabyte from also Seagate. I'm really surprised that neither of them have failed. We have our Wi-Fi card also by ASUS, our GTX 960 here. Very, very nice. That's not going to stand up by itself. And out of everything that's like significant, I'm pretty sure that's it. And then our case, which is not the best case, I understand, and this case is also half broken because I've had it for so long, but it's pretty much the only case I had that I would be willing to spare, and that would actually fit everything without being as small as this is. It has slightly better, it's the Intech 1200, not the best case in the world by any means, but it's all we had, and it's definitely better than whatever the heck this thing is anyway. And plus, he gets a Blu-ray burner, so that's cool too. Anyway, I'm going to be using my X470 motherboard from my current PC as the motherboard box that I'll be using to test bench, make sure everything is working correctly. So how about I do that? You don't have to move the camera for this, because I'm just test benching. I bet you're pretty happy, huh? I can see him smiling. He's getting a chub. Do you know what that means? You don't know what that means. You don't know what that means. He doesn't know what that means. So we're gonna start doing this. Big boys. I don't know why I stood up for that. Oh yeah, it's because I have to like move this. And we're probably gonna speed up in like a little while. It's coming. Just be patient. Any minute now. It'll be fine. Alright, so our nincompoop of a cameraman decided to, for some reason, our camera only records for 20 minutes at a time. We have to fix that. I don't know why it does that. That's his job. This is why I pay him, and by pay him, I mean compliment him when he does something right, and insult him when he does something wrong. Anyway, we have everything plugged in. As far as I know, I believe you already saw me put everything together. If you didn't, I do apologize. If there's anything that I missed, we have the 4-pin, the 24-pin, and the 6-pin connected to the motherboard and the GPU, respectively. We already have this plugged into the wall, and I believe our switch is off right now. We're going to flip it on, and we're going to see if this thing works. Our GPU light's on. You guys want to see that? I would love to rotate this in a way that you would actually be able to see that, but the other way? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You see the light on the GPU? Very nice. All right. I'm going to turn it back this way because now we are going to jump the pins. If you're wondering how to turn on a computer without the case button, then this is how. So we already have that button on, and I'm just going to shuffle in over here. Look at where the pins are. It says power here, so if I touch that. Very, very nice. So our case is glowing a color. Our fan's glowing a color. I'm sorry, I'm blind. Not like colorblind, I'm just blind in general. I did this all by like touching it, like Helen Keller style. The GPU fans are not spinning because it's not under load, nor is the PSU for the same reason. Let's see if the RAM is getting warm. I'm kidding, that was a joke. But yeah, it looks like everything is working as far as I can tell, which is, that gets an A+ from me. So now we're going to finish installing everything else, or actually we're going to have to take out the GPU, put it into the case, just the GPU though. We're just going to solder the GPU directly into the case, and then I'm going to pee on it to short the pin. So stay tuned for that. Oh, the PSU fan just turned on. All right, we're going to put it in the case now, so see you in like a second. Okay, so hello, you can, hi, hello. So we've basically, you don't have to do that. We're gonna do the rest of this build like this, so you can see the bare minimum field management of everything and just how actually garbage this case is. But we're gonna do the rest of the case like this. We do have to finish up soon because it's actually so cold in here that my feet are starting to hurt. I think I can actually feel like the blood in my veins freezing and bursting my blood vessels. This is how much it hurts. It hurts so much. Okay, onward with the build, so my brother can finally have a computer. All right, everyone. So you could probably tell that little build thing was a little painful. It was to me. You're probably realizing that I was trying to turn the device on. Honestly, it is getting very, very cold in here to the point where my hands are shaking and I can't really, I'm having a lot of hard time plugging a lot of things in. But overall, the build is pretty much complete. There were a lot of things that ended up being kind of messy if you want to kind of look at it. So I think you guys can see it. I don't have my cameraman on right now. He had to leave for a little bit. But this, oh my God, the lights just turned off. I'm gonna actually die. Okay, so you could probably see that our 4-pin connector, we're not cable managing it. It wouldn't reach. It was actually just barely out of reach. A lot of other things were barely in reach. For example, this 6-pin connector, the 24-pin connector, I actually had to move it down because of how far away it was from the front. You can probably see me fiddling with the power switch. For some reason, it wasn't working, so I actually popped the lid, and it turns out that there's actually a broken cable for where the power button is, which is pretty unfortunate. So in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the power switch, replace it with the reset switch, and as we can see, it works. He's actually, I think he's here now. Hold on. So guess what? The power switch is busted. I checked it, the cable's broken. So you have to use the reset switch. The reset switch, oh my God. The reset switch is now the power button. Not a big deal. I'm probably gonna end up getting a new case for him. This was pretty much just a placeholder. This is not gonna be here forever. Hard drive cage was a little annoying. We got that to work. But I mean, overall, it looks a lot cleaner. It's not clean in general, but it looks better from the other case. This is a bit of an issue here. We obviously have clearance issues with the RAM. I'll probably end up fixing that too. One last thing before I go, please, if you have not built a computer before, please do not use this video as reference. This was an incredibly crude way of building a computer. I did not follow all the steps that I should have, and I didn't, because this is probably the worst environment to build a computer in, which is freezing cold. Or, I mean, really, really hot's not all that good either, but my extremities are freezing. I think my fingernails are about to slide off of my fingers. I'm actually in pain. So I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Thank you guys for watching. This was pretty annoying. It took us a couple days to finally put this together, but at least my brother finally has a computer that he can actually use. I actually still have to plug in these front fan connectors. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Bye-bye.